With us now is Lynn Shaye. Lynn, welcome. How are you today?
Well, better now that we connected. We've had a little technology during this pandemic has been a source of aggravation, but because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm
I
grateful
know.
to talk to you. Thank you for inviting me on the show. And to answer your question, I'm fine. Okay.
Fabulous. You have had a long spanning career as an actor. Tell us what the most recent project that you worked on during this time that made you feel joyful.
Usually every project makes me feel joyful, honestly. During this last year, which was of course very unusual, I did do a couple projects that were pretty fascinating. I did one called The American Boogeyman, and I played Ted Bundy's mother. Chad Michael Murray plays Ted Bundy, and it hasn't been released yet, but it will be, I think, this coming year. And I also did a Zoom um, it was a Zoom film called "We Are Gathered Here Today," that is literally about a patriarch of a family who catches COVID and who's this very virile man and who dies in 3 days. And it was all improv. It was all done on camera. It was really fascinating. So they all brought me joy. Is the bottom line. I love working. I miss it tremendously. I miss that camaraderie of being in a on a project with people I care about and with a project I love, and it's been really lonesome this year. So those have given me a great deal of joy.
Well, you had done many things in the horror genre. You've actually done a lot of things. You're like an American actor, and you've done so many different things. But the horror genre, how do you prepare for those types of roles?
Same way as you prepare for anything. It's a
Really?
story.
Okay.
Yes, because it's a story. Basically you're telling a story, and I don't think about genre as much as character. Who am I in this story we're telling? Old-fashioned Uta Hagen questions. Who am I? What do I want? Why am I here? What do people want from me? And what is my background that leads me to the place I'm at? There's really basic questions to create a character that I always ask myself, and the genre is not as important as the story.
Along the way, have you ever decided to take some of your own life experiences, Lynn, and kind of blend them into the character, kind of give them a little bit of flavor? For
I
instance,
think,
like, go ahead.
you go ahead, finish your
Oh, I was
question.
just going to say, for instance, I'm an artist, right? So if I was playing an artist, maybe I'd say, oh, she loves to watercolor, or, are you able sometimes to bring a little bit of yourself to different roles? And if so, how have you done that over the years?
Absolutely, because everything we're made of is from our past of is we're a product of our past experiences. So um, I think it's impossible to separate it, to tell you the truth. The way I would there's two things though. There's the way Lynn would react, and there's the way the character would react. Um, and sometimes you have to make a choice based on the story you're telling, which which side you want to share. For instance, if someone dies, uh, and maybe it's a family member, or if you're a mom in a story and your child dies, God forbid. But so there's two ways who is this woman? Would this woman cry? Or maybe she's glad her kid is gone. There's all kinds of elements that add to the choice you make, to show your audience and to tell the story in the way the story is meant to be told. Sometimes you can mix them both. You know that this woman maybe never liked her kid, and there's seriously, I mean,
Yeah,
and then there's a
right.
moment where you go, I'm glad he's gone. And yet he's still your child. And so that part would be more the Lynn part. I mean, I gratefully have a wonderful son that I adore. So I would be able to bring that aspect mixed in with the story point, which is maybe this woman is happy to be alone again. So it's really mixing the two together to create, again, my primary my primary job is to answer the questions in the story that I'm
Okay.
telling.
And is there a particular director that you wanted to give a shout out to, or anybody in your life that you just want to take an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? Thanks so much. I really appreciate you.
How long do you have?
I know it's so funny, Lynn, because
Okay,
when we're
here we
preparing.
go.
Okay, go ahead.
Bob Shaye, my big brother,
Yay!
who has changed my life, and he really did. He gave me tremendous early opportunities in my work, and God bless his heart. He's still trucking around and doing movies, and we have a wonderfully complex and loving relationship, and he has given me wonderful support in terms of my work. So Bob for sure. Pete Fairley. And actually, if it wasn't for Bob Shaye, I wouldn't know Pete Fairley, because the first movie that they did was Dumb and Dumber. That was a New Line Cinema project. And Pete changed my life, because those characters he gave me to play, from Mrs. Neugebauer, as Jeff Daniels calls me in Dumb and Dumber, certainly to Magda and Something About Mary, and Mrs. Dumars in Kingpin. Those three movies have, changed my life. James Wan, Lee Winnell, they're the other two that have really changed my life. They resurrected my artistic sensibilities in my career, and gave me also tremendous opportunity. And that led me really into the horror genre in a way. That really is what gave me I always did, like, Nightmare on Elm Street was the very first Nightmare on Elm Street was Bob Shaye and Wes Craven. And that, of course, is a very popular horror film. So I've been very fortunate that the horror things I've done have also become very popular. So when Insidious came around, it sort of put the nail in the coffin, if you forgive my expression. Not yet. I got 35 more years, Bob Shaye.
Well, you are such a delight, and you bring the audience so much joy, and I thank you so much. I know that, like you were saying, the technology might be a little stilted, but we made it. And I sincerely thank you, and I wish you continued success behind the screen, in front of the screen, and all the things that you're doing in your life, Lynn. Truly.
Thank you. This means so much to me, honestly, and I wish you the same. And here's to a wonderful future for all of us, because this last one has been pretty stagnant this last year. So good health, good joy, and good love to everybody.
Thank you so much. We'll keep those. Oh, you're welcome. We'll keep those cameras rolling. Take care. Be well, Lynn.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
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 Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye, Bob Shaye. Bye, Pete Fairley. Bye, James Wan. Bye, Lee Winnell.